We're into the light. Welcome to another episode of Minneapolis by Night. Today, it's daytime. Today, we are at the Sept of the Windswept Frost. Just a couple of shifters, hanging out at the Sept.
Yeah, there's a telltale sound of Fang's motorcycle approaching.
Cleaves Twain is naturally doing her thing on the Bon here. She recognizes the motorcycle sound from the Stormcrow, actually.
Yeah, her motorcycle's gotten a lot less mechanical sounding since it's become a fetish, but it's still a loud roar.
Less Weaver, more actual lion roar.
Tiger, technically, but
Tiger
yes.
roar.
And
Go ahead.
and yeah, she'll drive it up to the Bon, but not actually cross the line, and kickstand down and start approaching.
Abel has found his cabin and found clothes. Is now walking around the steps, just trying to get his head straight and see if he can probably find his teacher or the warder.
Well,
Because I know all the elders have all the questions.
Hey, Abel.
oh, definitely, and some of the other Sept folks are giving you funny looks, Abel.
Yeah, Fang's not. Fang's just giving him a grin. Oh, one other note. Fang's hair is unusually clean because she's prepping for a con, so that means the dreadlocks had to go. She's still in cornrows, but they're like more professionally arranged now and not wild like they usually are.
You don't look. You look good, but you don't look right without the dreads.
I know. I gotta do a con, and that means I gotta wear a suit, and that means I gotta not wear the dreads.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah, I just returned home like a day ago.
I need to talk to the warder, and I need to talk to the wormfoe.
Knowing my dear old thin father is probably off fighting somebody.
Well, then I need to talk to the warder, and the warder can tell the wormfoe the news.
The warder, she's probably going to be looking for me, considering she knows I'm here after a 2-week absence and what had happened.
Let's see.
Fang will think on that, and
Actually, that said, I need to pull up something here really quick.
well, while you're pulling it up, Fang's just gonna.
I've already got it.
Fang's
I
just
had to
gonna
pull
do
it out
the.
of my drawer.
Yeah, Fang's gonna do the quick way of summoning the warder.
Well, that's actually really funny.
She shifts to Senda, and then just howls, "Hey, warder! I'm Fang. I need to talk to you." And then shifts back to Ahmed.
Oh,
Well, I guess this roll is gonna be oh. This is what I was doing beforehand. Like I said, the warder has been patrolling the Bon and stuff, so she's actually this is her dex stealth roll as she has heard the motorcycle, so she knows that Fang is approaching.
Yeah.
But she's gonna quietly approach here, hearing multiple voices.
Yeah, Fang's.
And I'm willing to guess that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try and make that roll.
I don't have that much perception, so.
Yeah, I only have 5. You know this.
Yep. So there, and actually, if I really wanted to be a jerk, she does have a specialty that would apply. So.
Yeah. Either way, Fang did it the formal way. I should also note that her Sendiform's howl has a coyote accent when speaking to Rue.
Nice.
Well, it's because red wolves are technically descended from coyote wolf hybrids, so.
Okay. Well, after a few minutes, after a moment or two, I should say, the warder does she walks up behind you guys like it's almost perfect timing. It's creepily perfect timing, actually.
Oh, and by the way, Abel really does not
And
give the weird looks really much of a look. He's more more chill because he's at home and he's not like paying attention
right.
to anything else.
Well, she comes up behind Abel and just kind of lightly puts her hand at the back of his neck, like, hi.
And the
And
neck
she smiles
tilts,
at Fang.
Fang will burst out laughing.
and the neck tilts, and to the side it says "Hello, Raya" as he rolls his willpower check.
No good.
He's shaking underneath her. That's actually appropriate because he's still not fully emotionally recovered from Erebus, so she can feel visible shaking underneath her hand.
She kind of smirks.
Hey, Artemis. I'm only here real quick, and I got 2 things for you.
Very well.
1, at some point, I need to challenge for rank.
Ooh, she actually pulls her one hand off of Abel's neck and rubs them together like, ooh.
I know that that's got to take some prep work, so not saying do it right now. But second, I got a plan that's going to hurt Green Dragon by cutting off its food supply.
Go on.
But you'll basically it's going to involve me doing a bit of a long con, so if I'm not available for some of the big fights, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, what is your plan?
I'm going to calm down the whole city.
How in the hell do you plan on calming down an entire city?
Bombing it with pot brownies.
I like, hey, Abel stands next to Fang, grabs her by the shoulders and sideways, like, I like her. She's gonna be my pack mate here in a little while.
I've got
Okay.
one of the mages is talking to their group, the Cult of Ecstasy, which if they can't get several tons of pot brownies, I don't know who can. I'm gonna steal a jet. I'm gonna load it up with pot brownies, and I'm gonna drop them over the city.
Thing that it sounds ridiculous. However, I know where you're going with it.
It's a coyote plan.
I'm not saying that it won't work. It just sounds ridiculous. Think about it.
Hey,
I'm certainly not opposed to it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The entire city is stoned for a couple weeks?
Yeah. All of a sudden, we have a shortage of Doritos and Hot Pockets.
Exactly.
And Twinkies.
And Taco Bell.
Oh,
the Taco Bell are going to be huge.
Oh, God.
But I figure the spirit can't feed on the rage of the city if the rage of the city is suppressed, right?
That is true.
So, quickest way to calm someone the fuck down is to give them sweets with chemical assistance.
Well, on my experience with with the green stuff, I can safely say that is a good assumption, and I hope it works.
I hope it does too. But that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm still working on the con. I've got to work on my appearance. I got to get the right clothes. I got to make sure that I can bullshit my way through FAA regulations.
Oh boy. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you need help with in those regards?
Do we have a pilot, or do I have to hire one?
Let's see if she rolls her. Let's see if she can roll her. She's got to ponder this one. I don't know if she actually knows about this or not.
Because I can take my motorcycle gang's dues and get a pilot, but it's just that means I have to involve a mortal, and they won't know why I'm doing these things. You know?
She sits there and thinks for a minute. And she's like, I think there is a pilot at the other Sept.
Well, I'll be at the clubhouse until the con's ready to go. And in case you don't know, it's she gives the address of the warehouse she bought with the stuff that they sold the construction equipment.
Okay.
That they basically turned into, it's a warehouse for the rest of the construction equipment and a clubhouse for the motorcycle gang.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll be there prepping for this con until it's ready to go. If a pilot can be arranged, that's where I can be found.
I'll see what I can do. I'll try to find somebody, but I thought that I heard rumor of one at the other Sept.
She gives a big old thumbs up. Yeah, worst comes to worst, I can hire a human pilot. I'll just have to find some way of covering things up. Afterwards, they won't know why I'm bombing the city with pot brownies. I suppose I could say I'm part of a radical art collective or something.
Oh boy. I wish you luck on this one. If anything, a calm city would be handy for everyone.
Yeah, I think it could work. Well, I gotta go ahead back. I've got a con to prep for.
I'll work on your challenge.
Sweet. And with that, she'll hop on Amun and drive off.
Her hand goes back to the back of Abel's neck, and she kind of just...
The shaking did not disappear that long.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
Yes, ma'am. And she can P&E him, but it's now at standard difficulty, probably a standard difficulty for her.
Oh, well, let's see. She's got a decent dice pool for that.
Okay,
3.
he sounds fairly like a little kid that just got caught, and this is the first time in a long time he said that to any female of authority in a long time. You can, with 3 successes, especially with that 9 over there, you can tell most likely never those words came out of his mouth, except for you and maybe a few people from Sept.
Abel, sit down. Tell me a story.
He sits down and...
And don't think this will be the only time that you're telling this story.
I gathered that. And she's probably going to get a headache because he basically goes spewing out the mouth like a little kid, and this little kid had a photographic memory. The story of basically his long 2-week adventure that started at the Chantry and ended back here bringing a lost guru from the abyss.
Lost. There are many of those in the abyss. Believe me, it's more common than you may think. But I'm not. I'm not looking for that. I want to know what happened at the Green Dragon Chantry. I've heard one side of the story.
I got overconfident and went in way over my head and tried to basically lash out at it with the rite of cleansing, and my overconfidence blinded me to what all could be in that world. Which is,
Oh God.
from what you can tell, and you can peony that, but then again, I'm with that dice bowl, you don't have to.
Right.
You can notice that overconfidence is gone, but it's like you're addressing a fledgling alpha that's like basically getting used to his teeth.
Well, it's still not going to change what she does. She walks up to you and just smacks you upside the back of the head.
And a reasonable reaction that
I'm not rolling it because she's not.
it's not full force.
Yeah,
for
it's
her.
not full force.
It's the back of the hand, not the...
Yeah.
The front.
Yeah.
But still, it's that whole. I really need to roll manipulation subterfuge because she's probably not. It's probably gonna for him with his experience in a militaristic society. Uh, but he's pretty much let go of his whole past almost with his dad, and I can't find my subterfuge rating.
Are you trying to lie to the warder?
No, he's trying to keep his face composed.
I think that falls under expression.
Yeah.
Okay,
That wouldn't be...
that's still not.
That wouldn't really be subterfuge.
Yeah.
That's still not a dice roll, which is
Well, you can still roll it. It's not a knowledge.
okay.
You
So
just roll your manipulation.
Manip and I don't think the -2 difficulty from support or merit counts in this case.
Nope.
He barely holds his face, but his eyes shoot wide at how that hurt. But then again, that hurt didn't really compare to Erebus. She may be she may have pulled back her strength a little bit. He doesn't know. He's just like it's that wide-eyed, surprised and confused. Like, okay, that should have hurt worse. Look on his face.
Would you like me to make it hurt?
He just looks up to the point like underneath her nose and just like shakes his head. Head. No, ma'am.
I didn't think so. And we're finished here?
Yes,
There's somebody else on the Sept looking for you. He would like to have a conversation with you.
Which one?
Being as we've got Mirriam's side of things, I think our resident Philodox would like to get your side of things.
I guess that.
Being as you took off before anyone else had a chance to speak with you.
Out of character, he only knows of McKenna.
He only knows of McKenna.
Yeah, unless and he has a suspicion she's talking about the Judge of Doom, but he that couldn't be
That's why she
isn't
said
also.
he would like to speak with you.
Oh, okay. That with that he will nod and uh, catch her drift and basically shift, uh, wait to be excused, and then shift into Lupus and howl to saying, "I, Abel Griffin, wakes the dragon atoned in silver. Will be waiting here," uh, and gives this location for the judge to speak with him.
Is Mirriam with them right now?
Mirriam's somewhere nearby because she's making preps to deal with these paradox spirits.
She looks at the warder looks down at Abel and she says, "I want to know what the judge says."
He will give a very human nod of his head, but even though he's in lupus, and she gets the drift. He just said, "Yes, ma'am,"
I want to hear it from you.
and he'll.
You can roll your perception empathy on her if you want to.
uh, just wait for this amazing roll.
It's pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah.
She she does not look like she's a big fan of this idea. Like when she speaks of the judge, she kind of looks like she has a look of disdain on her face.
And he will uh, uh, whisper for only her preternatural ears to hear. Well, I guess a shared prejudice, eh, Brian?
She looks at Abel and she says, "There's a reason I want to hear what he says from you."
I'll make sure I will
I
bring
do
back the
not need to
message.
hear any more words leaving from a mouth containing a forked tongue.
So you wish to send the horned serpent to go after the shadows, at the shadows again?
No.
It was in he basically is, it was when he says the shadows, he's got that, the same, ex uh, tone of voice as she's taking to when she says someone that talks with a forked tongue.
she she obviously does not like this Shadow Lord.
And he's
And
expressed,
on cue, Miriam's going to arrive at around this point.
and Abel will relax into his human form, and she would notice he's barefoot, but he's got a white t-shirt and some basketball shorts on now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mirriam. Good, good. Come here for a second.
Sure. What can I do for you?
Uh, Abel, let me just show you why, in part, that I don't like the Shadow Lord. And she kind of, she just looks at Mirriam like, I'm not going to do anything terrible,
Yeah,
but she grabs at the...
Miriam will hold up a hand and say, "I've shown him."
Oh.
Yeah.
There is no love lost for the one that chases shadows.
There are
That
many other reasons beyond that I disagree with this man. However, he's here for a reason. And I can't raise a claw against him.
You want but you want somebody with a photographic memory to tell you what he says in verbatim. That, well,
I want to know what he says to you in regards to your situation, as the way he handled certain things in Mirriam's trial was not acceptable by any stretch of the means.
Have you thought to try and inform someone higher than him?
There isn't another Phyllodox of high enough rank on this Sept.
I think what she's trying to say is it's in the evidence gathering stage. And
you were there during the trial.
Yeah.
Perhaps you have a way of showing him what I speak of.
I do.
And she'll
look at Abel and she'll say, "Would you mind if I share my memories? I've got to touch her mind, and I prefer permission for that."
He just goes, "Go ahead. I'm not really closed off anymore."
Yeah. And then a paradox spirit gives Mirriam a nosebleed.
Oh no!
Abel will.
And she's gonna cry out in a little bit of pain. She goes, "God damn paradox spirits! As soon as they're gone, the better."
Abel will actually grab hold of her nose and do like he did when he first met her. Burning a gnosis.
Mother's touching her nose.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I believe that's enough.
Yeah, my by default, because this is for Holly.
She has no rage.
It's diff 6 standard then, so yeah.
This is for Holly's benefit because she doesn't know Mage very well. By default, if you botch a spellcasting roll, you get 1 point of paradox that immediately becomes bashing damage, unsoakable. Okay. So I always roleplay that as nosebleed.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah, you only get more paradox if you're doing vulgar magic, and that paradox tends to linger and have worse effects.
Right.
So she tries again, and this time I've got one, so I can actually share the memories.
Okay. Have you seen anything on the trial yet, Sandwiches?
And I have read the postings. So he's got
you now know in character all of that, and have Mirriam's memories from her perspective for the whole trial.
Will Mirriam roll for willpower for me? You sense from this two-way connection, considering this is a two-way connection, pretty much?
No, she didn't set it up as a two-way connection. She set it up just to share memories.
Okay, you get a brief flash of a lot of rage, but it real quickly is like it gets obfuscated. It's still there, but it's like something broke, and then Abel's will shuts it out, and if she's curious, she can roll to see if she can make it a two-way connection, because a memory just flashes in front of her eyes.
She's actually trying not to read your mind. She's trying to give rather than receive.
Right.
Okay, so you
violating people's heads is something you do to people who deserve it, or people who give you permission. And she only has permission to give you her memories. So
you hear a very, very quiet, but there's still that flash of rage in his voice. You can go ahead and peer into my mind. You don't have. I've got the gist. I have something for you to see that makes this even more worse.
All right. You're going to want to put a jacket over your mic or something because we're getting...
Sorry. Okay.
And that's nothing, but she can try again.
You failed.
Then, yeah, it's a two-way connection now.
There you go.
And for the sake of completeness, she's gonna look at Artemis and ask, "Do you want to be part of this?"
Sure.
All right, and hey, Artemis is in a three-way telepathic circle.
Having a three-way on the bond here.
She's used to this kind of thing.
And I'm presuming now that the trial's over, Mirriam's allowed to have her necklace again.
Yes.
Then
yes.
Yeah, it's this whole time she's running her thumb over the various gems on her necklace and muttering in Hebrew.
Okay, both Artemis and Mirriam see basically they're spectators in this memory. You see a man that, well, you see Abel with a very young, blonde-haired boy, no peony needed. It's basically this is brother, a little sibling. Both you see a man that they both recognize, because Abel real quickly gets a very defensive stance in front of the younger male, and
is he only showing him the initial first change scene, or is he showing them other details as well?
Basically he's showing the visions he saw in Erebus.
Okay, well,
basically,
obviously, you know, there's a bit more detail to those that we didn't fully get into.
Yeah, basically he's...
That's why I'm asking, because she might need to roll her rage, seeing some of that.
Basically, Artemis, you see that I'm given she's warder. She's probably got an astronomical perk alerts dice pool.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to have her roll for it. She sees the tongue lolling out of this man's mouth as it passes by these two young cubs, kinfolk cubs, and basically you catch the hole flicking back into his mouth, and that before the brief moment he belts down a King Brewery Pilsner, and then it bleeds into the subsequent scenes from there. All of them.
Yeah.
And vivid detail, because this is a photographic memory that's showing you both this.
Yeah. This vivid detail is probably what makes the Black Fury roll her rage.
Considering what she saw, at least with the dad,
yeah,
and the two children,
yeah,
this her basically the matriarch in her just surfaces.
yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, oh, rage roll. Well, she's definitely angry.
And Mirriam's going to roll. Mirriam, who is not used to being directly connected to someone with rage, is going to roll willpower.
She's letting out a really loud growl. And you can just feel her anger at that situation, even though it's past.
Mirriam, I'm just going to rule that this happens this way because I'm actually receiving a lot of your thoughts as well because we're in a telepathic circle.
Oh God.
And you just had to resist rage, and she's not used to that.
Oh, so you can see pretty much everybody's things that are going on here. They can all see each other's. So in her mind, she is recalling she's recalling a situation. I can't even remember an exact. Holly can't remember all the details, but she's pretty much seeing situations where children have been used by Fomori, and specifically, it looks like this is a foreign place, but it's basically a Fomori rape camp.
All right.
And it's literally showing
you'll
get as she's walking away, killing women because there's nothing they can do to save them.
Okay, you guys will get some flashes of the fight that Mirriam and her cabal had with the Bane that was killing children. And then the circle is going to be broken because Mirriam's going to collapse unconscious. I succeeded that willpower, which means that she doesn't frenzy from feedback.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Mirriam's going to collapse. Going to basically collapse because a human mind or even a mage mind is still not built to handle rage.
Yeah. And by the way, for the two of you, you get a overwhelming hatred for male authority figures that abuse power.
Mm-hmm.
From Abel.
The circle's broken. Mirriam can't maintain the effect if she's unconscious.
Yeah.
Right. And the warder is going to drop down next to Mirriam, who has clearly just dropped.
Yep.
Abel will pick her up a little, Mirriam a little bit, very gently abnormally gently for someone of his age.
I'm going to go find some water. And the warder walks off because she's gonna go get some water to splash on Mirriam's face.
Yeah.
Rather than shaking her to bring her to.
Technically, if you just get an empty cup, Mirriam has shown that she can make her own dang water.
Right. Either way, it's going to involve traveling to get said item, so...
Yeah.
Right.
And Mirriam's just unconscious, because dumping rage into a mage's mind is not a good idea.
She's, the warder will come back after a few minutes, leaving Mirriam in Abel's care here. And she's not going to dump the water that she's got on her face. She is literally just going to splash it little by little because it's cold.
Yeah, and she'll wake up. She'll wake up at that. It's just, that hurt.
Sorry.
What hurt? You just dropped like a ton of bricks.
There was an overwhelming just anger. I think it was coming from you.
Cleaves Twain nods.
Yeah, overwhelmed the link. I'm gonna have to...
There's nothing... I can't stand next to the worm. Abuse towards women and children. Can't tolerate it.
Is that what you guys keep referring to as rage?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I've felt it, I think I can defend against it.
I apologize. It wasn't my intent to cause you pain.
No. It's okay. It's just it's good to know before I. one of the things we want to do is after Aline can trap Green Dragon, we're going to try to calm it down. And now that I know what it feels like, I can defend against it.
It may also have been me. I have a lot more and more rage than is healthy towards
We may not have to worry about rage being
authority.
able to feed the green. We may not be able to. We may not have to deal with the green dragon feeding off of this.
Okay.
We have one of our other shifter folks working on a plan to calm the city.
Well, that's good.
With some of your people.
Yeah, I could calm individuals. I could probably calm a small area, but I couldn't calm the city.
Well, let's hope it works. It won't cause anyone any harm. In fact, there'll probably be a lot more happy in it on top of calm.
There's a small smirk coming off of Abel's face now.
And then she actually looks at Abel. She's like, "There's another matter."
Ma'am?
It entails your mentor.
What happened?
Well, as those of your persuasion, you Crescent Moons tend to spend a lot of time in the Umbra. That has clearly become evident with your mentor.
Abel, Charles, I had to mute you because of the background noise. Just unmute yourself when you're ready to talk.
Yeah, sorry. My headphones were going screwy. Could you repeat what you said, Holly?
Oh, she said, well, as with most Crescent Moons, there are some adverse side effects from spending too much time in the Umbra, and those have become evident in your mentor.
Like, what is he exhibiting?
Well, you saw the trial through Mirriam's head. Did you notice the bit about your mentor being not mentally present through most of it?
You would have
recalled it now that it's been pointed out.
Yeah, oh. Are you sure he's just not smoking abnormally heavily?
I have seen
Green Dragon?
I have seen those of his tribe smoke a lot more than I have seen him, and still not fall into that frame.
Oh.
Now, I am giving you this as a heads up for when you do see him, just to keep an eye on it. I have spoken to him along with the Wormfoe on this.
Alright.
Matters are being dealt with in those regards.
Alright.
It's just going to take some time. That being said, I may be out for a little while.
Oh, lovely.
The Wormfoe will be watching over my station while I'm gone.
Alright. Technically speaking, with the judgment, I'm going to have to insist on going with you as far as I can.
Absolutely. Though I advise that you not interfere. This is a challenge for rank.
I don't plan on interfering unless you ask me to.
I will not. And if I don't come back, the Wormfoot has agreed to keep an eye on you, as have, well, though I'd much prefer one of my own to keep an eye on you, considering the judge's judgment. She rolls her eyes at mention of the judge's judgment.
Some of the technicalities of the litany have some concern for me if you do end up not being my guardian. But I plan on holding my own if those come up.
What are they? You might be able to help.
Well, given my current station, technically any guru could claim me.
She kind of curls her lip slightly.
I plan on making any guru that does that have second thoughts, literally.
What if I could find a way to prevent that, but also keep you safe? A ruse, as it were.
Oh, I think it's a lot more fun with the idea I have, she says, grinning a lot further.
Abel will just slowly turn away, but keep his lower half of his body and keeping his but he's still standing there.
Let's just say I have a few ideas for certain post-hypnotic suggestions that will redirect the lust of any wayward guru.
Oh boy.
Abel looks.
But what if there was not a need for it?
Well, if there's not a need, there's not a need. But having the gun in the holster is still a nice thing to do.
Abel is
all
actually
your
looking
thoughts are amusing.
awkward right now.
He's what?
He's looking like all kinds of flustered and awkward. Like, oh God, I'm actually in this conversation. Why am I in this conversation?
Cleaves Twain gives him a nice little pat on the shoulder. Well, hear my idea out here.
All right.
The only way to truly prevent anyone from doing that, sure, that could work so many times, your thing, and it might be amusing.
Yes.
But what if I could tell you that I know somebody here on the Sept who could... She lifts her hands up in the quotation so you know that it's not a legit. Claim you, but would want nothing of that nature to do with you. For your protection. Nobody can touch you then.
That could work.
Abel slowly tried to itch away from the two girls.
Hey, pup, where are you going?
You'll stop. No, ma'am.
I didn't tell you could leave. She's kind of chuckling because she's got to know that this is awkward.
Well,
she's rather amused by the awkwardness, the awkward look on his face.
Considering sexuality was not a big thing on his list of things, this is one of those times that's extremely awkward.
And the warder turns back to Mirriam and she's like, how much do you know about guru culture? Clearly you've stated that this is unfortunately something that happens a lot more than needed. Lusty guru claiming kinfolk who don't even necessarily want it, so on and so forth.
Out of character, I'm going to basically assume that at some point I've been told the basics of the litany and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Beyond the litany.
Well, beyond the litany, most of what I know are what I learned as a mage from the outside. Our stories are incomplete, to say the least, but there are rumors. And there's, of course, we of course have to train a number of kinfolk who have other rumors, and because when kinfolk awaken, they need training from somewhere.
That is true. Well, the person in which I speak is of my tribe, and he has similar feelings in these regards than I do, and into the rights of women, children, fighting the worm, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, the litany states, Guru shall not mate with Guru. He is a metis. And he really has no, from what I've discovered, no desire for that sort of relationship. So, in those regards, you wouldn't be violated, but you would still be safe.
Oh, that works. I can't sleep with anyone who's not Jewish, anyways.
He has his mind focused on other things anyway, but for your protection, I would be happy to see if you'd be willing to at least make that happen for you. So that way no one, it won't be a concern then. No one, you won't have to mess with their minds, as amusing as that would be.
Oh, I don't know, a couple of little tweaks to what people find attractive.
And awkward if Abel wasn't already red, he would his entire face would be bloodshot by now. Awkward, rubbing his back of the head like.
Yeah, making it so they don't find me attractive, but they find that goat over there very attractive would be very useful.
Though, admittedly, that might be amusing to see. So, that person would have such embarrassment. Rightfully so.
Yeah, especially since, unless I make it a ritual, I can't make it last forever.
Oh, they would be so confused.
Exactly.
1 minute I wanted relations with that goat, and now I want relations with this kinfolk.
Exactly. And
she's actually laughing really hard about this. Probably harder than she should be.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't know why the strings of the mind come so easily to me, but I find it's very useful, and it's subtle enough that it doesn't invoke the wrath of Paradox often. And hey, maybe the next fight I might actually be useful beyond pinging things with my pistol.
Well, she'll pat Abel on the back again. It's okay. It's okay.
So yeah, speaking of Paradox, those damn Paradox spirits floating around the Sept are annoying.
I do believe Get a Fenris kin is taking care of those.
Yeah.
Mirriam.
Yeah, Angram's had me summon my Cabal to help.
Very well. They're trustworthy.
I would trust every member of my Cabal with my life.
the well-being of the Sept, however. That's my concern.
If they act against the well-being of this Sept, you may take my life.
Fair enough.
Besides,
I desire that, but
yeah, they're actually, with the possible exception of Aline, then again he is a shaman. Their magical tradition is probably closer to the spiritualism of the Sept, anyways.
She nods.
Yeah.
What I want then?
I'm
I want all of you to keep that quiet. Nobody else needs to know that you guys are there.
Absolutely.
I don't think many people would appreciate that, but it's ultimately my call.
Yep. And I apologize for not asking permission, but Angrim also technically outranks me as a mage.
Well, if he's been here longer than I have, as far as I understand, and everyone seems to hold him in high opinion.
Yeah.
So, if he's here, I see no reason not to trust him. And if you're allowed to stay here despite your unfortunate situation,
I will
trust.
Yeah.
I will trust you. Just the other guru might not be okay with it.
Well, as my ward, I will inform you. We mages have. It's not as harsh as the litany, but we do have laws we have to follow.
Very well.
And one of them is respect mages of greater experience. And
respect your elders.
Exactly. And Angrim is a mage of greater experience than I, even though he is of another tradition.
Very well. Like I said, as long as she looks at Abel, keep your damn mouth shut.
He puts his 2 fingers to his lips and moves from one corner of his mouth to the other.
Yeah. Good boy.
Paradox is stifling.
Yes, those spirits need to be dealt with, and presumably you guys know more about them than we do.
Well,
I do want you to be careful, however.
Well, you always are careful with Paradox. It's
I'm not just talking about those spirits, Mirriam. When I ended that vampire defending this place, when we ended it, one of our own made a blood oath to kill you.
Well, that's a kick in the teeth.
Now, that is something we are going to, we won't allow that by any means. But I do want to forewarn you, this is a thing.
Well, I am very glad I never dismissed the my emergency backup plan for if someone tried to kill me effect.
And she will actively describe Dead Man's Lament to you.
Yeah.
Abel immediately will face palm.
Yeah, I have.
Be on a lookout for that one and any of his tricks.
Mirriam's
and should he pull anything, make sure we know.
I'll make sure of it.
We have our own spirits watching, so on and so forth. But
yeah, Mirriam will look at Abel, and she'll say, "Anyone tries to kill me, they'll get a sudden burst of all of the memories of all of the good things I've done for the Guru Nation, and that should buy me enough distraction at least."
Hopefully, but also you'll probably have more practice damping rage than you think. There's a lot of rage in Dead Man's Lament. I had to pull him off of the judge judge when he arrived. After I got the explosion backlashed me all the way to the Patchwork Wolf's Shrine.
If he tries anything, I may have to cut him off from that rage.
Do what you have to do.
And Mirriam's going to look at
a curse.
Yeah, Mirriam's going to look at Artemis. She's going to say, "I don't know if that's within my power. I mentioned before I've got a new source of power. I think it could do that."
Repeat that.
Mirriam just basically admitted she thinks she could cut off a guru from its rage.
That's interesting. What do you think that would? What do you think that would do besides remove the rage?
Well,
I can't. The results would be.
I don't think I can remove the rage because it seems to have a spiritual component I can't affect. But if someone is physically incapable of feeling anger, they won't be able to access it.
Well, there's a way to test that theory. Maybe a little unsavory, but there's a way to test it. She kind of smirks.
If I've got a volunteer, I can do it temporarily.
I don't know about volunteer, but it might be worthwhile to try on an enemy should one be found.
If there's an enemy, then it's certainly in my wheelhouse. If any black spirals try anything.
That's what I mean. I mean, I don't know of any present, and I wouldn't know where to hunt them down in the city, but if I got my hands on one,
yeah, if you got,
I might certainly let you play with it.
Well, there's certainly things I can do for that. If you've got a thing that you want to torture, having a mage with my expertise would be quite helpful.
There's rumor of Angrim, which is part of the reason he is so accepted here, that he managed to wipe away a Black Spiral Dancer's madness.
Well, I don't know about wiping away madness, because I've not achieved total mastery of mind.
This was something that the prior warder had something to do with, and, well, she's not here anymore.
Given enough time, I could rewrite most of a Black Spiral Dancer's personality.
That might be interesting.
But I'm not sure I could wipe away the underlying madness even with the new power. I could only affect the conscious mind, not the unconscious, and not the spiritual component. One moment.
Okay, why don't we all take a break here for a second?
Yeah.
I gotta hit the pisser. I gotta pee. Might step outside.
Sorry about that.
We're actually taking a break because we both have a few things to do super quickly, like
No problem.
Break the coffee seal, so on and so forth.
No problem.
We'll be back momentarily.
Yes, sir.
I have returned.
Welcome back, Holly.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Woohoo. All right. So they were discussing. I need to backtrack here.
Yeah, Mirriam's discussing the extent of her abilities to help the guru.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, the extent of my abilities that I can use to assist the guru. I'm an expert in technology. I'm a decent shot. But magically, my specializations are in space, mind, and the fundamental energy prime.
Okay.
Space helps because I can do things without actually having line of sight to things and over a wide area. Prime can, if necessary, I can make an ally or my own weapons strike at the core fundamental bits of a target and a few other things with that effect.
Okay.
And of course, the mind is obvious.
Yogurt. Greek yogurt.
But yes, that's what those are the abilities I have to assist the crew.
Well, any assistance we can take will be greatly appreciated. Oh boy. We've got all kinds of fun things to handle here, it seems. The Screen Dragon being priority, of course.
Yeah, and I still need to go shopping for Shavuot.
For what?
I invited you, didn't I? If I'm going to be living here, then I'm going to be celebrating the Jewish rituals here, and Shavuot is a feast, so I gotta cook. And Shavuot is the holiday where you eat lots of cheese. So I'm going to be making traditional Jewish dishes with cheese.
Cheese is good.
Yep. So I'll be making blintzes, I'll be making kugel. It'll be fun.
I may have gone to a food coma.
Well, if you're that hungry, Abel, then I'm going to ask you to chip in.
I think I can do that. Cheese is delightful. I'm curious of this holiday of yours.
Yeah, it's all the Jewish holidays have stuff to do with food, except for Yom Kippur, but that's because you don't eat food on Yom Kippur.
For a few hours, and then, you know. We still have food.
But yeah, for Hanukkah, you eat fried food. For Purim, you eat cookies. For Shavuot, you eat cheese.
Ooh. Delightful.
Absolutely. But yeah, I gotta go shopping for that. And that means I need to start making some money, which means I gotta spend most of the day, I guess tomorrow, because today we're dealing with the paradox spirits, plying my trade. Because even mages gotta eat. It's been a while, so I'm gonna be hard pressed to find a target. Mirriam's just muttering of thinking out loud of all the stuff she's got to do.
I know the perfect person to help you if she wasn't busy.
Well, more importantly, I got to find an asshole to rob. Because I can handle that myself, but being in my line of work, and being the moral, upstanding person that I am, if I'm going to be taking their money, I want it to be someone who deserves to have their money taken, preferably.
There is honor among thieves.
Well, there's honor amongst God's chosen people.
Mm.
And thou shalt not steal, but if someone is breaking the rules and being a jerk, I tend to work past that. Yeah.
There's always forgiveness later.
Exactly. And I suppose there's probably some energy executive somewhere who's doing shady business. But finding a target that's the hardest part of what I do. But yeah, that is if I have my guardian's permission to leave the Sept.
Oh God, sorry.
Yeah, Mirriam's just openly talking about what she does, which is criminal activity.
Yeah. The Ragabash can appreciate it.
Yeah, I was about to say, Artemis is a Ragabash. She probably did it more than once.
Yep. So yeah, I'll just do it all in one go tomorrow, if that's all right.
Okay.
And yay for justifying your resources.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people take like lots of resources and then don't justify them. And then get so pissy when someone with influence just eats them all up. Well, is there anything else you need from me today? Either of you?
I have to get back to my work here.
All right.
Feel free to go speak with Angrim regarding the spirits outside the barn. Just watch for the
big furry killing machine with blood red eyes.
Yeah. Angrim will be leading that charge. I'm not really a spirit mage myself, but I can certainly provide support. And remind me to introduce you, Artemis, to a few of my Cabal mates you'll probably get along with.
Very well. Why don't you try to set something up with them, and I think I can leave Sept for a little while so we know who we're dealing with. I can simply have Gray watch over things. He's good at that. I trust him.
All right.
Everyone would look confused at the use of his old grandfather's last name, but then he
His first name?
His first name. That was player slip up. His first name. He's like it was so long he's heard that name, then he remembers that that was Windburnt.
Yes, Windburnt.
All right. Okay, and both of you, sundown on the 11th. Don't be late, or there won't be any kugel for you.
I won't be late.
Me neither.
I may be early.
Well,
she just smiles.
Mirriam will chuckle and say, "Can't eat it till sundown because all Jewish holidays start at sundown."
All right. I'll have to hold off on the cheese until sundown.
Yeah. At the very least, this is probably the least religious holiday of the whole year. You just need to eat lots of cheese, and then if you are Jewish, you get to study, but you don't have to preach or anything.
Ah, all right. All right. Well then, I best be on my way.
I apparently have a judge to find, and there's that really edgy. I want to kill him. Tone again.
Abel.
Huh.
Mirriam's going to cast a thing. It's just mind one. So for the next few minutes, you're going to be able to resist fear. She's just made you a little bit more brave.
Yay! Alright, he just, basically when, I'm going to roll for a second.
Mental empowerment for the win!
Just because we have an SD here, and I want to make sure things are all there. He senses what happens, and basically he closes his eyes and smiles. He nods and says, "Thank you."
No problem. Figured you needed it.
Well,
A lot.
good luck, Abel. Report back to me after you speak to the judge.
I will, and you as well, Raya. I may have not gotten the position yet, but I will show I'm good for the position of Tim Parent.
Mm-hmm. I believe that is in Gray's hands.
Joy, the elder, the one that taught the person that's wanting to be Tim Parent to be a cub in Clea is the one that that it has in its hands to give or take.
Correct.
Well, I will go play with shadows again.
I'm gonna go meditate until Angrim needs me.
Very well. Stay safe.
You as well, and you as well, Mirriam.
As safe as I can with all these paradox spirits around.
And the warder shifts down to Lupus and kind of just trots off.
Mirriam will just sit cross-legged and start praying in Hebrew.
And apparently the paradox spirits are messing with Abel now because that was his shapeshifting roll and he fails.
No, that's technically a botch. You had more ones. So you're stuck in that form for about half an hour.
Yeah. You're stuck in your form you're in for a half hour.
Oh god. Okay, he's going to then try and do perception enigmas for sense magic, and he's going to target the judge, which is a little bit better with 2 successes. And he will turn and kick his feet and go find the judge.
Yep, and we're gonna call this a scene here because we need John for the judge.
Oh yeah.
We need John for Angrim as well and all the paradoxy spirits and stuff.
So thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching.